Hi everybody, good morning. I want to make a dispatch from here, which is my desk where I write. I've been writing in this Oasis notebook that says Art Office School Life. Do any of you use these Oasis notebooks? They have these sewn bindings that are really attractive. You can see that I've been using little tea lights for ambiance at my desk. My right hand seems to be shaking a little bit, probably because I had so much coffee. Yeah, I've been writing in this notebook. Let's see how far I am in it. So this is like where I keep a diary. And, we're a lot of the way through. These books contain 80 sheets, and this is like the medium size. I was turned on to these Oasis notebooks by a friend who really appreciated the way they just open and lay flat, even if you're toward the end. And you can see that that's a direct result of them having this nice sewn binding. The grid, I don't know if you guys really dislike this or not, but on the pages there are these vertical lines as well, so for writing characters, and it's divided into these sections so that you can really practice getting your radicals in the right places for your Chinese characters, which is something that I should be doing a lot more of in the coming months. I've got a friend who's going to start a linguistics PhD soon, so that's really cool. I'm really excited for that, and I want to contribute by really catching up on all the languages that I've dropped over the years. See, if you just have a quick trip match and you have a little tea light, then you have instant ambiance. You see down here on my desk, I have this little area where there are books you can consult for what you're writing, whatever you're writing at the moment. It might be embarrassing, but all I'm reading at the moment is All Aboard with EM Frimbo, World's Greatest Railroad Buff, by Rogers EM Whitaker and Anthony Hiss, and then occasionally poems from this, actually. Posthumous collection contains a lot of dross, but, an occasional gem. Been reading All Aboard with EM Frimbo out loud. You can see there are some spots on the top. This is a very old paperback. It's got that kind of look. Really looks like my houseboat days. I think I said this in a recent video, but look at that. They look very similar. I guess in times when I'm not really finishing novels, you're going to get these vlog-style videos, Put Houseboat Days back on the John Ashbery shelf. I was recently plundering this shelf to make a selection of Ashbery poems for my friend Connor, and if anybody really wants, if anyone wants to see the selections I've recently made for Connor or for Graham, please let me know, and I'll just email you. There's an email address associated with this YouTube channel, and if you email me there, I can send you that selection. If you're wondering where to start with Ashbery, I can send you those selections. Yeah, it's not true that All Aboard with EM Frimbo is the only thing I've been reading, because I've also been reading Hard Times a little bit. Just starting this book and reading it aloud, trying to get into some of the voices from the book. And this is really excellent reading, as is All Aboard with EM Frimbo. This kind of felt thematic lately because it was recently the 100th anniversary of the New Yorker, and you got that thick issue that was for 2 weeks, and those 2 weeks worth of New Yorker. And so I was thinking about New Yorker a lot, just being oh, okay, it's a magazine like this, did this there, et cetera, et cetera. And this is actually a book from the, that's culled from New Yorker pieces. It's not why I chose the book. I chose the book because it seemed like it would be a funny, quirky old read with a nice, catchy main character. The typography and illustrations in it are so welcome. They have a wonderful kind of Richard Brautigan-y quality. Don't ask me why I think that. And then also that's just, there's a lot of personality to it. I think the level of the pitch of the humor in here is just as high as it needs to be and no higher, But you can see 16 of the articles in this collection appeared originally in the New Yorker. And then you can see the dates. Look how wide-ranging, from 1945 all the way to 1974. What's cool is that, it's kind of cool that I'm getting to the end here, and one of these later chapters I know is written by somebody other than the authors. I think it's kind of cool to insert chapters later on that are by other people to kind of broaden the scope of the book right before it closes. The last couple of chapters have been very nice, very cozy, about Japan, impromptu uses of Mexican railways just to get to San Diego, being taken care of by railroad buffs, as they're called, who know all the hookups and can get you good hotels and plan everything. Really just a glimpse into the life of someone so rich, such a rich lexicographer, is really what's so prized to me about All Aboard with EM Frimbo. But I must confess, I don't really rewatch any of the videos that I make or really understand what I've put in them after I've uploaded them online, which is a little bit bad. So I don't really know how much of this is a retread for you, but I'm just sort of letting you know that I'm still in Frimbo land, although soon to leave it. Unbeknownst to some people, I have ordered yet another Schwartzwelder novel, and that'll be arriving in the mail soon. Haven't really made much progress on the Wrecker lately, unfortunately, but it's just still beautiful, and it's still on this little octagonal stand that I found at the St. Vinny's, a little lucky find. Another thing that happened recently, borrowed I Never Liked You from a friend. Loved it a lot. Really liked the book itself, a really nice drawn and quarterly paperback. Really liked the story, really liked just the tone of it, and liked the way the panels have this kind of off kilter quality sometimes, this really hand-drawn quality. Not really, it kind of shows, I feel like the way your panels are can like be a signal for what genre you are. You know, if they're really gridded, then it can be more like an action thing or maybe more like a documentary. Speaking of which, I liked it so much that I checked out paying for it from the library, and this has a way different panel thing going on. And those were good reads, and I'm finally now read Chester Brown after like years of just hearing about him because of him being related to other comic people that I've read. So that was really nice. And these books are really worth reading. I mean, if you like confessional writing or whatever, if you like somebody just looking at their life, in a way that's very reasonable, you should, or that's really detached and literature producing, then these books are for you. This book recently got the Book of the Courtier. Now, the story of how this book came to be in our house is a good story, and one that will be elaborated upon in future videos. But the Book of the Courtier by Castiglione, it's an anchor book, and you look at the way that is there. You look at this book and you think, wow, Edward Gorey didn't really have a hand in this because this illustration isn't his. But turns out that the typography is by Edward Gorey. The illustrations are by Eugene Berman. And so that's how they came up with this awesome hybrid collabo cover. This is a very useful book for historians and micro-historians, anybody digging into the past. It's really nice to finally have a copy after I know people who have just plundered this book for their work for a while. So yeah, coming up next is the next Schwartzwelder novel that I'm going to read out loud. First was The Time Machine Did It, in this kind of copy that came really crappy. And then this bigger, The Squirrel Who Saved Practically Everybody, this children's story. And then How I Conquered Your Planet was next, which is the novel that immediately follows Time Machine Did It. And then after that, The Exploding Detective. Loved all of these, and a new one will join this sequence pretty soon. I'm wishing everybody a happy day of reading, and you'll hear again from me very soon. And everybody have a happy day of reading now, all right? Yeah.